everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Winning Skills with StudyMate. Today we were going starting with class 11's economics part, because since economics is such a subject, if you don't understand from beginning, it will be tough for you to understand. So the first chapter which we are going to study is microeconomics introduction. So actually it's not going to be microeconomics, it's introduction to economics. Here first we were going to study with mind map. So the mind map would be available on screen. It's in the it's not in a vertical direction, it's in a horizontal direction, so please bear with us. First we are going to know what are the three. I'm not going to give any description. Yes, I'm just going to help you by point wise from the mind map, because in the mind map the information is given in very short, and it's not going to be very helpful to make you understand on the topic what it's given. The first point is there are two kinds of economics: microeconomics and macroeconomics. Okay, what is microeconomics? It is actually the study of behavior of individual economic agents in the market for different goods and services, determined through the interaction of individual in these markets. Macroeconomics again is the second half of economics. What is it? In macroeconomics we try to get understanding of the economy as a whole by focusing our attention measures such as total output, employment, etc. Now the next comes, what are the problems, the central problems of the economy. First we have to know what is economy, and then it will be coming central problems of an economy. Economy is an entire network of producers, distributors and consumers of goods and services in a local, regional or national community. Now, what are the central problems of an economy? It's very basic: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. How to produce is based on what are this what how to produce. Before that, we have to learn about what to produce. So, what is what to produce? What is the item we need to be produced for the consumers? For example, we need to produce food items. We need to like biscuits, or agricultural items like rice, wheat, maize, or luxury items such as furnitures, beds, and for mobile phones, etc. Now, how to produce? We need labor, we need mechanism, and we need technology, which is very important in the state of production. Now the last part is for whom to produce. Now how to the 2 points of for whom to produce is how to distribute equal output to all, how everyone gets the benefit of production. Here for whom to produce is a very important point, because without actually the thing is, in the central problems of an economy cannot work without one and another. If you have produced something, if you need, first the point is what the things which is need to be produced. You thought that you are going to produce rice. Now how can you produce rice? You need land to produce, you need labor to produce, and you need the available technologies to produce items. Now for whom will you produce? For yourself, or for a shop, for a company? For whom will you produce? Now, what is opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is the value for the best alternative organ, and then it comes with the production possibility frontier. Production possibility function. Frontier is the collection of all possible combinations of the goods and services that can be produced from a given amount of products and resources, called production possibility frontier. What is normative and what is positive economics? Now, we have to know what is economics. The introduction to economics and others would be given in the next page. Since it is the introductory mind map, we are not going to give the information about what is economics. Before that, I'm just going to say what is positive economics and what is negative economics. Okay, positive economics is the positive form of the economy. That is, positive economics focuses on what is phenomenon, and government, that is, for example, government provided healthcare increases public expenditure, could be an good example of positive economics. Whereas ought to be, or what ought to be phenomenon, is normative economics. That is, government should provide basic health care which is a good example for normative economy. So let's go to the chapter. I will be thanking Future Campus School for making such a beautiful, brief of the chapter so that it could be really easy for me to describe everything point wise to you all. First is the key concept. Let me tell first that Future Campus School is present in future Shonarpur, which is there in Calcutta, West Bengal. Okay. Key concept economics. Economics is the study of optimum utilization of the scarce resources in a manner such that the individual gain is maximized at the macro level and social gain is maximized at the macro level. Now, what is microeconomics? It deals with the economic issues related to small economic units like individual consumer, individual producer, individual firm, individual industry, and individual market. Macroeconomics, it is a branch of economics which studies the aggregates of an economy or the larger units of an economy. The main objective of macroeconomic studies how income and employment of an economy is determined. This branch of economics deals with the fuller use or utilization of resources. We have known already what is positive and normative economy. Now, what is economy? Economy is a system that has to produce goods and services and enables people to earn their living. Central problems of an economy: what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. Production possibility frontier graph or curve would be described in the next in next pages. Please view the full video for that. What is economics? Economics, we know as it is the study of the optimum utilization of the scarce resource in a manner such that the individual gain is maximized at the micro level and social gain is maximized at the macro level. The subject economics is broadly divided into two parts: one microeconomics and two macroeconomics. So the most important part which CBSE asks question, or from your schools also the question would be asked. From my school, this question is in every year, either in unit test or in class test, this question will come: differentiate between micro and macroeconomics. So please read the following. I will give you 10 seconds to read the difference. So now, what is positive and normative economics? Positive economics deals with the issues of past, present, and future. It can be studied by using facts and figures. Characteristics of positive statements is it highlights the nature and extent of economic problems. It is based on the facts and figures related to past, present, and future. It can be verified. It does not reflect any value, judgment, or opinion of the economists. Whereas normative economic deals with things as they ought to be. It deals with the idealistic situation instead of actual situation. Characteristics of normative statements are: the statement involves value, judgment, or opinion. It leads to controversies and debates. It cannot be verified for truth. They reflect what ought to be as a solution to economic problem. Now we are going to read this subtopic: central problems of an economy. Here we have the definition of economy, which we have already heard or we have read, and but now we are going to read types of economies. So there are three types of economy: market economy, centrally planned economy, and mixed economy. So what is market economy? This type of economy is a free economy in which economic activities are controlled by the market forces of demand and supply. It is fully controlled by the market. Whereas centrally planned economy is sometimes controlled, the economic activities are controlled by the government, the central authority or the government. Whereas the mixed economy is the economic activities are governed by the market, whereas the forces are regulated by the government. This is only the main difference. There's little bit similar difference between all the three: market economy by the market, centrally planned by the government or the center, but mixed economy by both market and the center or the government. Now, what are the economic problem? Economic problem is the problem of making the choice of the use of scarce resource for satisfying unlimited human wants. Causes of economic problems are unlimited human wants, scarcity of economic resources, alternative uses of resources. We know the three problems. Central problems are how to produce, what to produce, and for whom to produce. What to produce is an economy can produce different possible combinations of goods. and services with given resources. The problem is that out of these different or combination, which combination is produced? If production of one good increases, and less resources will be available for other goods, because resources are limited and have alternative uses. How to produce? What are the steps to be required for producers? For example, a given quantity of cloth can be manufactured by combining factors of production in different proportion, making it a capital intensive or labor intensive method. Now, for whom to produce? As the resources are limited, as economy cannot produce goods for all sections of the society. To the extent every economy has two sections of the society, the rich, the poor. On that basis, the capital intensive and the labor intensive has been decided. Now, social justice is promoted if goods are produced for the poor, but in that case, the profit of the producer would remain low. Low profit means low investment, implying low GDP growth. Thus, there is problem of choice between social justice and GDP growth. Now we are in the most important part of the chapter, production possibility frontier curve. What is production possibility frontier? It shows all possible combinations of two goods that an economy can produce with given resources and available technology, assuming that all resources are fully and efficiently utilized. Opportunity cost. It is the cost of shifting resources from one use to the other. Means raw iron extracted from iron ore, which is being converted into iron bar. Now, marginal opportunity cost or marginal rate of transformation is again the same from commodity 1 to commodity 2. Now, MRT is equals to loss of output of the commodity 1 divided by gain of output of commodity 2. Now, it is vice versa. And based on the graph, when MOC increases, PPF is concave to origin, and when MOC decreases, convex to the origin. When MOC remains constant, PPF is downward sloping straight line. Features of production possibility frontier slopes of downward from left right, because to increase the production of one good, some units of the other goods has to be sacrificed. Please read the B point and give you 5 seconds. In now we are going to shift to the in figures below. You should read it by yourself. 5 seconds for reading this point. Next page. Please read the following. I'm going to give you 10 to 20 seconds, whichever you like. Now we have some assignments. Please do the assignments and send me the answers in the comment section, or you can ask me the answer in the comment section. If you have any issues, please don't, think that I won't be answering, or it will be just kept, or I'm doing this for any other purpose. I'm trying to help my friends, because now I am by myself in class 11, and the better now I will understand the chapter, the better I understand the chapter, the better I will help you in the chapter. So that when my teacher teaches me this chapter, or I study by myself and get to know about the chapter, after that only, after taking out the best of the chapter, I help you with the chapter. So thank you for watching our video. Please click the bell icon, subscribe our channel for more videos, and thank you for now. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye.